How goes it in the Americas around the world for you all? It is
Co-Horts,
Raider
Beats Rock,
the beautiful Black Hole Stef, and the Stonedude 420.
Thank you.
On the Los Angeles Professional Football Team radio show.
No. What? What? The Los Angeles Professional Football Team radio show.
Oh, excuse me, the Las Vegas Professional Football Team.
We'll get to that later on the comments. A lot of fans and viewers out there. I say fans and viewers because I can't say they're all fans.
Right.
But they're definitely viewers. They're viewing.
But they're supporters too.
But a lot of comments regarding the relocation that Raiderhed Raw brought up last show. But yes, this is show number 42!
You can't get 420 without 42.
That's right, you can't get 420 without 42.
Holding it down in Las Vegas. The desert is kicking our ass. Today is 109 degrees. We've been getting hit for the last month. It's just hot.
We had a monsoon hurricane last week.
Right.
It was awesome. I loved it.
So they say.
When they say it's a monsoon hurricane in Vegas, it really doesn't mean it's a monsoon hurricane. It means we're getting the edge of a monsoon somewhere else.
Right.
And it's just making us so we have 15-degree cooler weather and some water, rain, which I love. It's all good. I dig it. But I love the desert. I love Vegas. I love it out here. I'm glad we all relocated. You know, we relocated and then the Raiders followed us here, of course, because of our efforts and endeavors to make that happen. That's a whole other story we'll talk in the comment section. But before we get started,
weather, real quick. Weather is breaking out though everywhere. I guess everyone is.
Weather always breaks out. Weather.
No, I mean with extreme weather. I mean from the hurricane Adela that's down in Florida right now, passing through Florida when we take this, and South Carolina and all that. Also, we can't forget to send our condolences to the people of Maui, Hawaii.
Season everyone's really talking about that, aren't they?
Yeah, well, you know.
They're not because they're thinking that it might be a laser that actually did it. What's it called? Laser, electric, some kind of device.
God.
Because none of the rich people's houses burned down. You know, like Oprah, Bill Gates, the dude from Facebook, Zuckerface.
But there's a lot of other residential areas of the common
people
in Maui that didn't burn. There are communities that didn't burn.
Right.
That weren't of the influence.
But
yeah, there is some suspect.
If I might get into some of this conspiracy theory stuff, because I love to do that just a little bit, they say...
I'm not a theorist, I'm a realist.
They say I'm a conspiracy realist.
It's almost like a religion of thought.
Leave shadows on the clouds.
Look to the heavens, lines in the sky that captivate conspiracy theorists. Chemtrails, followers convinced something evil and secret is going on.
See and look.
I'm a conspiracy
They
theorist.
say that with all the metals that they have in our bodies, and the vaccines and the different, what do we call that? The thing? And all the stuff they're spraying us with in the air, aluminum and all these different metals that they're creating, like a gnarly death ray or a microwave that focuses on metals and leaves organic
I'll get
material.
you yet, Spider-Man, with my laser rats.
A lot of Dr. Octopus, Dr. Doom shit going on out there. That's for goddamn sure.
You know, and then coming and asking the people, could they buy your land? You know,
Yeah,
like dirt
immediately.
cheap right after. That's dirty.
That's what happened during the 1991 Oakland Hills fire, which I just recently wrote about in the book. That is almost complete. My autobiography that you're all
When will it be done?
It should be completed writing-wise in the next 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I'll be done with everything of the principal transcript. But anyway, peace and love and condolences to all of you in Maui, Hawaii, and other regions of this country where it's scorching hot uncommonly. The Midwest, Chicago, it seems every year they reach high weather and humidity, but really on the eastern seaboard, this summer from Boston down to Virginia, 110s, 109s. Those people back there just complaining, about how just treacherous the heat is. It doesn't seem to be abating the widespread, crime and street violence that has unfortunately cropped up in a lot of cities in this country this past summer and during the summer. But, the heat's getting everybody. The weather's hot.
The
man.
heat is on.
It's on.
Speaking of the heat, before we get into show number 42
The Miami Heat?
and all the things that we do here at Raider Fan Radio, and again, thank you very much. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Raider Fan Radio. I do have an announcement. Do you have that little drum roll thing?
Of course.
We'll do it a couple times. That's to get me started. That's the prep. That's the prep drum roll. All right. So, as you all know, Raider fans out there in the Raider universe, that the 24th is the home opener. It's because they're playing 2 away games versus the Bills and the Broncos prior. But the home opener versus the Steelers on Sunday Night Football is on the 24th. And the announcement is that Saturday, September 23rd, lock it in.
Lock it in.
At the Oyo Hotel Casino.
No, not the Oyo.
Formerly Hooters.
Across the street from the MGM.
Right next to the Tropicana.
Yep,
Right
yep.
off the strip.
Yep.
You are all welcome to come check out and be part of the Raider Fan Rock and Roll Party. If you're coming to Vegas. And this will be hosted by me and, of course, my band, Raiderhed.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing it in Vegas, casino style, at the Stand Up and Rock Lounge, at the Oyo Hotel Casino. It's officially booked.
Right on.
Posters have been made. By the time you see this, of course, there'll be plenty of time for you to plan your trips. So, yes, that's where the party is, Saturday night, September 23rd, 9 p.m. sharp. Come out and hang out with us, Raiderhed. We're going to have some friends come jam on stage. And I say a rock and roll party because, as we all know, Raider fans like a lot of different types of parties.
Yeah.
They like rappers, DJs, mariachis, all kinds of things. This is definitely going to be a rock and roll show with Raiderhed. The way we used to do it at the South Shield, the Black Hole, and at Ricky's in San Leandro. So we'll see you Saturday, September 23rd at the Oyo Hotel Casino, 9 p.m. with Raiderhed. We'll see you there.
It's perfect timing too. It's just that's going to be fun.
The web reminder down here in the description, and is it any information online?
I'm going to
anywhere?
put some photos and flyers and all
Okay.
that stuff on the thing. So, having said that now, this is show number 42. And as we always do, and when we have a show number, we like to, of course, we like our numbers.
Yes.
Before we kill again, you can't have 420 without 42. So, tonight we will talk about some of the notable Raiders that wore number 42. And I will start off, as I always do, second only historian to the great Raider Mort, who I just spoke with recently, by the way.
Great.
He's still alive. We love you, Mort. And, he's still out there kicking it and giving me some Raider knowledge every once in a while, whenever I call.
Right on.
But anyways, second only to the historian of Raider Mort, I refer and defer to Raider Rock.
Hello? Yes, they're calling me now. Yeah, I'm pretty important in these parts. I'll be right back. Yeah, thank you. Good to see everybody. Thank you for supporting us, Raider Fan Radio, as always. Like, share, and subscribe. 42. Yeah,
Just give us one.
Well, one that stands out, of course, is Ronnie Lott, who came over from the San Francisco 49ers as a free agent, and Al signed him when we were still the Los Angeles Silver and Black. And Ronnie Lott, the hard-hitting, gritty, four-time Super Bowl champion who laid his claim for the San Francisco 49ers when he came out of USC in 1980. And,
Tried to buy the Raiders and
he didn't try to buy the Raiders.
He
was
didn't have the
pretending that he was trying to hook somebody up to buy the Raiders.
Right.
That role that the wrestler The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, plays in that TV show The Ballers,
Right.
that was kind of the role that Ronnie Lott fashioned himself trying to play. Or that I think they based that off of. And being that the team in that show ended up coming to Las Vegas, and it was centered around the Raiders, that was strictly ripped off from the proposal that, was authored by me. So anyway.
RaiderFan Radio exclusive.
RaiderFan Radio exclusive.
Played, I think 4 or 5 stellar years, came over with Roger Craig, and also at the time, Tom Brathman, another Niner. I was pissed that Al was signing these cocksucking Niners, but Ronnie Lott was an exception.
Okay, I have to
many years later, Jerry Rice.
I want to interject that because I understand your disdain for the 49ers. I don't understand how much you hate the 49ers in the history with the Niner Empire. But certain 49ers, when they came over to the Raiders, I, for one, was always a big Ronnie Lott fan. And I always liked how Al would take somebody, even though everybody else might take a pass on him.
You were a Ronnie Lott fan after you played with the Niners?
I was always a Ronnie Lott fan from USC.
Oh, okay.
Because he was, you just go look at the history of Ronnie Lott and what he meant to football. He's the kind of guy you wish he was a Raider all those years. But more to the point, how did you feel when he went out and signed Jerry Rice? Because I, for one, remember specifically when I would see, say, the Raiders and Niners do charity basketball games and things like that. As much as Raider fans hated the 49ers, and they always have and they always will, whenever Jerry Rice walked on anywhere near anybody, even though he was still a 49er, they acted like a bunch of giddy little gits. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh my God, that's Jerry Rice. This is a grown man Raider fan.
Right.
And then when he eventually did get signed to the Raiders, and of course he gave us two really great years right at the end of his career. He helped us get to a Super Bowl, caught the only touchdown in a Super Bowl.
Right.
So I was a big fan of that, obviously, and of course the greatness of Jerry Rice, and that of course Al Davis made that happen. Do you have a number 42, Steph?
I do have a 42, and I did like when Jerry Rice was a Raider. It was funny to watch him run so much slower than he did in those earlier years. It's like,
But you remember he bulked up.
Yeah, he got big.
Well, after that first year when Rodney Harrison welcomed him to the
AFC.
That first game, we were right there in the Black Hole and saw that and was like, Jerry, go have to put on some weight, baby, pasta diet.
Tim Brown told him, you're not going to get the Niner calls here.
Right.
And, to answer that question, too, before you go on, Steph, I didn't mind Jerry Rice. There's only been a few Niners throughout, and, I grew up, in the shadow of San Francisco, being from Oakland and in the Niner thing. And then, of course, when the Raiders moved the first time from Oakland, it was all Niner country for the most part, except for in Oakland. And so you were sitting there on an island unto yourself, hating what was going on across the bay, and seeing them get all the limelight in the Bay Press and all that. So it became annoying and obnoxious a lot of times. But they have had great players throughout their career. One that I liked when I was a young kid was Fred Dean. And that was a guy that I wish had been a Raider. And he did end up, I think, playing for us, towards the end of his career, but it wasn't long and it wasn't notable.
Jim Plunkett was a Niner.
Jim Plunkett was a Niner after he was a
Patriot.
A Patriot.
He was the two teams we hate.
Yeah. So, I didn't hate the Patriots back then.
Right.
They just were a piece of shit. But Rice was different because it was a thing of he was just an exceptional player, no matter Niner, Bronco. Fuck the Chargers. He played for the motherfucking ass. But I liked it. And the thing that I liked more than anything was that he embraced it.
Right.
You saw a side of his character and personality that you didn't really see in San Francisco. They were a little more conservative, of course, a little more business, by the book, that NFC type vibe and shit, where everything's straight-laced. And they were kind of like that a little bit as a franchise. But when he got to the Raiders, he had all his personality, man.
Right.
And he had all this, coming to the Raiders helped up his media profile.
Right.
Because you pretty much didn't have one. It was kind of overshadowed by Montana, of course. Who was the kid? Brent something, the tight end. He was always big. Brent Jones, Ronnie.
Or Steve Young, who got the MVP and he didn't.
Right.
That was always a sticking point for
And then there was kind of that time when Terrell Owens came, where They were you could kind of see they were trying to push him out, but quietly, and not really giving a lot of attention to him, even though he was still.
His last game of his career as a 49er, Terrell Owens ended up getting the most yards in a game because it was Jerry's last game, so everybody blanketed Jerry Rice and double teamed him and triple teamed him. So Terrell Owens was all day long.
They hated on him.
Yeah. But I like the fact that he became a Raider and he had a big chip on his shoulder.
Right.
And he said, "Look, I'm the greatest of all time." He is, to me, one of the real GOATs, as they say.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't say that about some other people they talk about these days. Some other quarterbacks in New England or Tampa Bay.
And he was the one to speak out, too. He and Tim Brown, when he talked about sabotage. Jerry Rice was also one of the ones that spoke out about the sabotage that happened against the Raiders.
Yeah, there's a video on YouTube right now with his face.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, and the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We think the game was fixed.
I just found it was very unusual to change the game plan.
When I get in a manic episode, I start to wonder and be aimless.
And that was.
If someone were to rig the Super Bowl, then maybe the least likely candidate would be a head coach. But somehow there's a game in NFL history where multiple players have accused their head coach of losing on purpose. This is the story of Bill Callahan and the Super Sabotage.
So my number 42, I'm not gonna. This guy you brought up several times before, and you like him, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring up Eric Turner, even though he was briefly, he was 42 for the first 2 years and the third year before we lost him to what we now know was stomach cancer. He was number 42 and a great 42.
Turned into number 29 his last year.
Right. Hard hitting,
but he was
great
42.
safety. That hole really never really got filled after that. I mean, it took years before we got a really
hard-hitting safety for the Raiders.
Right.
Remember at that
Still was a hard-hitting safety. That's a good point. Since Eric Turner.
And Jared, who we talked about a couple of weeks ago now, although Jared, wasn't as
Gerard Cooper,
wasn't as well known, fundamentally for all of those different attributes that we know Eric Turner for, and that's the classic Raider safety.
Right.
Jared was a hard hitter.
Right.
So we just talked about Jared a few shows ago, but
He was, but he was doing it all on his own with the help of Stuart Schweiger from time to time, but he was singular kind of on his own, but E.T. was kind of like with, those great teams, those great defensive teams and championship teams.
But that was him, Torrey James, Eric Allen. Well, that was before them, but Eric Allen, the beginning of those teams that we would have. Eric Allen, Eric Turner, Torrey James had gotten there. I think, Gary Gibson. A few other people.
Yeah, these are people that, that aren't really part of the whole.
But that's my point, but you very much make my point for me or with me, because the fact of the matter is the safety position is so known for the Raiders because of Jack Taylor and George Atkinson and the Soul Patrol to be this hard-hitting, lay you out, and be afraid to go into the middle of the field. But since Eric Turner, I can tell you who's played safety, but I can't tell you who's actually played to the level of scaring everybody in the middle of the field.
Right, and Eric Turner, too, was a great leader on the field, man. He was a captain. And I remember he used to come in and see him sometime in his he had a yellow sports car. I think it was a Ferrari that he ride in sometimes. But he was just tenacious, and he was also a great indicator of the fact that Al Davis was still very keen on the free agent market and very observant on what was going on around the league and who, some of the, top-notch players that fit that Raider mold were out there and went out and got them. Like I said, Eric Allen, Eric Turner, people like that. We got Trace Armstrong, and John Perella. It's like Al was still,
he got Eric Andre Rison, Jerry Rice, like you say, John Perella. man, it really blows my mind the way, you're right, Al was so in tune at that time of bringing in guys left and right, not just once in a while, to build teams. Bill Romanowski.
Right.
But ever since the whole John Gruden trade, there was that one Super Bowl year where we lost, of course, but from that point on, things went downhill.
On Monday morning, Callahan handed the team a booklet titled Game Plan to a Championship. It featured a set of run-dominant plays, and they believed they could outpower the Bucs' defensive line with the size of their offensive line. Plus, the Bucs' defense had been absolutely feasting on the passing game all year, so the plan made sense. They practiced that on Wednesday and Thursday. According to players, it was a great week of practice, and the team had fully bought into the strategy. Then on Friday morning, 2 days before the Super Bowl, Callahan walks into the building and basically says, never mind, forget the run game plan, we're gonna throw it 60 times. Rod Woodson said it was a shocker to everybody. He was in such disbelief that he dropped his book during the meeting. Tim Brown couldn't believe it either.
When things are changed and you go from one offense to another offense, it just, it didn't make any sense for that to be happening at that particular point.
Some people have theorized that Al Davis got a hold of the game plan late in the week and wanted to continue with the Raiders' high-flying passing attack, but Brown believes that Davis had nothing to do with it. In fact, he said the change in plans was such a big deal that some of the players attempted to track down Davis on that Friday to let him know about Callahan's last-second change. One player in particular approached Callahan himself, begging him to not go through with the switch. And that player was Barrett Robbins, the All-Pro center in the midst of a career year, who come Saturday was nowhere to be found.
I'm going to throw in my last and final honorable mention at number 42. He's no Eric Turner. He's no Ronnie Lott. But we liked him a lot because in the late 90s, early 2000s of the Raiders, when John Gruden first was in his first round with the Raiders, he had a huge running back by committee. A lot of running backs at that time. Randy Jordan, Jack Crockett, all the Charlie Garner, So one of the running backs I remember because he was at a lot of the charity games was Terry Kirby, number 42. And I remember the dude because his arms looked like softball, his biceps. He was just built, he was a Bill Mack truck, he was a brick house. And that's the way he played. He would get hurt a lot because he played like someone who really just wanted to break through the line.
I'm glad you brought it back up. I'm glad you brought it back up because I jumped the gun and wrongly put him at number 41 as wearing number 41. And show 41 as a correction there. So I'm glad you brought him back up because I didn't do him justice, number one, and I had the wrong number. But Terry Kirby was a banger, man. And he's right. He was built like a little world wrestler. Junkyard dog. Young junkyard dog.
If anybody, he literally hurt defensive lines. If he was going to make one play in the game, he was going to run right up the middle, right up the gut, as Raider Man would say. And literally, helmets would crack, pads would start breaking and shattering into pieces, and Terry Kirby would get that extra yard or two. But that's
he would also get that little pitch play they had for him that was really big with Wheaton, because you got some of Wheaton's play. And some of the same schemes when he was in the game. It was like a bigger Wheaton. But that little pitch that he would get sometimes when he was supposed to take it up in, he would always bounce outside and stretch to the sideline, so I remember he would always try to get outside. He was like a big motherfucker trying to get outside. You know what I'm saying? And I remember Black Hole Robbie was like, "Where you going, Kirby? Where you going?
What are you doing?"
He tried to have a little finesse. Bounce outside.
He wasn't a mover.
You're right, though. He was buff as fuck.
He was a monster.
For Vance Mueller, you didn't bring
Vance Mueller from LA! Yes!
That was my dude. Running back, that was Rob's dude.
I love Vance Mueller, man. He didn't last long. He got hurt early. But if you remember Tommy Bardell, who was kind of hot for Cleveland, back in the early 2000s for a minute, late 90s, early 2000s at fullback or running back. Vance Mueller was kind of a precursor to that. You know, he was in the vein of the Larry Zombie. And then when it comes to the Los Angeles football team, silver and black, he was right along the lines of like a Pete Banizak. You know, Mark Vanny, real punishing fucking guy. Had a great, you know, body mass on him. Had a little speed, as we say, for a white boy. But he was classic. Yeah, me and the brothers, motherfucker.
Me and the hood.
No.
And again, we are Raider Fan Radio, so we will talk about what I would call. I know Raider hater Rob will not speak of the Raiders anymore because of his vow of silence, which I don't think it is really a vow of silence. But point being is that this is Raider season. It's starting. Raiderhead's going to be playing at the party at the Yo-Yo Hotel Saturday the 23rd. There are real games to be played. We just finished the preseason, and of course a lot going in the NFL. I was setting you up. I was called a setup.
Oh, sorry. I was distracted right there.
Yeah, my thing was he setting you up for the silver and black team? Or was he setting up for the NFL? The NFL, of course.
I wouldn't put words in your mouth. You can say talk about whatever you want.
Well, since you know, the show was slanted more towards talking about the Las Vegas football
team, Silver and Black Raiders.
Silver and Black.
What's the name? RaiderFanadio.Vegas-Show.
I watched their 3 preseason games. Alright. And here are my takes. You're not going to win a lot of games. The offense has some receivers. That Wilkerson kid should probably stay.
He is. He made the team.
I'm glad you're paying attention.
I am.
Wilkerson should make the team. The little Trey Turner or whatever, he's pretty good. We always have a little shifty, you know, cat like that. And, you know, what's his name? Hunter Renfro. He'll compliment Hunter Renfro with the slot receiver position for y'all's football team. The guy you liked a couple years ago or last year as a rookie, Zahir White, he's definitely, you know, going to play a big role. Jacobs signed.
That to me, that's what it all comes down to. Everything else about preseason, I could pretty much just go, okay, fine, preseason. People throw touchdowns in preseason against people that aren't going to play on in the real regular season all the time. But the fact that Josh Jacobs finally, right before the season starting, is coming back to play for the Raiders, to me, he is the X factor. With whatever few free agents that they did bring in, veteran players, Josh Jacobs is just simply a fan favorite. We followed him since he first got here. We've watched him improve and get better and prove himself. Last year, they made him play in the preseason. What did he do? Go out and become the top rusher in the NFL. And here we are talking about all these running backs that the Raiders have had over the years. And he's the only one that's a throwback to that type of running back that actually is changing the game. And an X factor that's going to go out and make plays. Absolutely. Be a playmaker first and foremost. So that's it for me as far as the positives. Is it going to win me games?
The positives?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
Well, look at your damn team.
I was going to say. I can't even tell you who my defensive line is. I don't even know what's going on as far as some of the linebackers that they got.
So I don't really like the fucking team anymore, but I'm the one watching.
I said I watched them.
The bulk of this season for you folks out there when it comes to the talk of your football team is going to be carried by these two. And like Derek Carr last year, you guys didn't even play preseason.
And that's funny because Derek Carr is playing preseason.
He played preseason.
What do you mean he's playing?
He played preseason down there with the Saints.
For the Raiders, and now that he's down there, he is playing preseason, and everybody is saying, you know, that helps you play better, more succinct with your team and with your line in the regular season. But he's down there with that fucking boob Dennis Allen that coached the Oakland Raiders for a while. Okay, yeah. I'll still say Oakland Raiders because that's the real shit. Right.
And that's what raised me. Yeah.
Although Dennis Allen was a very forgetful Oakland Raider coach.
He's going to be a forgetful New Orleans Saints coach, too. And just like that fucking number 4 down there. And that's the other thing I didn't like about y'all's football team. Okay? This kid that they picked up in the draft from Purdue.
Quarterback?
O'Connell with the porn stash.
Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, with the porn
stash.
stash.
The new number 4.
Yeah, it looks like he should be in Long Limps in Las Vegas or some type of
stash.
porn movie. He's got a porn stash, yet he's got a buzz cut. It looks like Johnny Unitas' grandson. Okay, Google him, kids. Okay, but he's wearing number 4.
He's wearing number 4.
And that's intentional?
Yeah.
That's from inside that cocksucking organization with them crappy ass patriot motherfuckers in there who like to take jabs and subliminal digs at people. You know what I'm saying? And that's a dig to mugs like me and other Raider fans that detest that cocksucker, okay? And this is a way to keep reminding people in the back of their head that we still remember Derek Carr. That kid didn't want that number. He didn't even wear that. He didn't wear that number at Purdue. He wore a whole different number.
Wow.
Okay, so the equipment manager for y'all's football team is a cocksucker too. Okay.
And all those 4 jerseys.
The 4 jerseys. They're going to be around 10 years from now when there's another team in Las Vegas Stadium, and we'll be laughing at how people start walking around with car jerseys like they're Jeff Hostetler jerseys. Remember when Jeff Hostetler jerseys lived on into the mid-2000s at the Oakland Coliseum?
I had one. It was on
sale. You had one? Yeah, you sure the fuck did have one.
It was on sale. I didn't wear it long. Well, I got rigged.
It was on sale.
I do remember that now.
It was on sale. Like Derek Carr's were on sale.
I never wear jerseys that are on sale.
That was a mistake.
That's why I go and get my own custom jersey. Stoner dude.
Right.
That's right.
When I first moved to Oakland, that's what I noticed about all the fans, the unique individual fans, is they went out and created their own characters and their own numbers and their own. And then if I'm going to wear a number of a Raider, it's going to be a legend.
Right.
It's not going to be number 4.
Be on sale.
It's not going to be on sale on Walmart in the clearance aisle.
Right, the give you back aisle. For sure. I mean, I did watch some of the games, some of the preseason games. Of course, the Niner one. I watched that one because that took place.
Did y'all see that Cleveland cat that they drafted a couple of years ago, Farrell? He's a Niner now.
Yeah,
Cleveland. So that was a wasted thing.
Yeah, totally. And the Raider fans were being beat up by Niner fans in Santa Clara. That made the news. As well as...
Yeah, the 2 Raider fans just stabbed a Niner fan at an In-N-Out burger in Southern California the other day.
That's right.
So, one for us. Got him back!
And then lastly...
don't condone violence, kids. Don't condone violence.
The Dallas Cowboys in the Raider game that was away in Dallas. What turned me off was watching Mark Davison's skinning and grinning ass sitting there with Tom freaking Brady. He woke me up in the middle of the night.
Motherfucker!
It's like, why is he...
Did you see that shit?
Yes! It's like he's...
Mark Davis!
Welcoming in the traitor to the Raiders and to the Raider Nation and to his father behind this. So that's my take on football and my support and love of Chucky's lawsuit that he has against the NFL, in which he says he wants to quote unquote burn down the house of the NFL.
Wow.
So,
I love that.
Same way I'm gonna burn down the house of a couple of them. I'm playing YouTube. I'm playing. Tom Brady on the sideline in Dallas, Texas, had me think of another time in Dallas, Texas. Erykah Badu did a video about it once. Anyway, you know, Houston and Elm. I mean, man.
You talking JFK talk?
Shut up, Stone. Stop telling everybody everything.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
That shit is a fucking that is the height of the festivity that I have for Mark Davis.
Right there. Yes.
To see that shit, the motherfucker that the NFL manufactured off of cheating against us for him.
The Raiders.
Is on the sideline glad handing with Jerry Jones in his fucking tight ass white pants, like he's Speed Racer and shit.
Ready to own the team.
Ready to move in.
Y'all can have it.
You called it though years ago. You said that they were going to sell it to a favorable Patriot, and it would be check and mate for the Raiders and the Raiders' legacy.
This is the setup, and I'm calling it. They've infiltrated the Raiders with the Patriots.
Is this an official Raider Fan Radio calls it?
Yes. They're going conservative and they're going right wing. Okay? Period. That's what they're doing. They're trying to soften and disconnect any of the previous image of the fan base because it comes with the team. The fan base. The Raiders are being primed to be sold. And probably will be sold by NFL-approved, Patriot-adjacent, Robert Kraft-adjacent, confidant or associate 2 years from now. Tom Brady retired. But there's an uncertainty to will he RaiderFan Radio exclusive.
Stop calling it.
There you have it. There you have it. And that's what we got to look forward to this season. I am a Raider fan, and I love the fans, and I always have the best time of my life with the fans, so I pretty much, that's my prime reason why I even still go to the games and why I still participate in everything. Yeah, it's just really hard. I can't get behind my team right now. They're making me sick to my stomach.
The thing I notice about you two right now, the thing I notice about you two right now, and this is, I've never even experienced this in my life when it came to the Raiders and standing, talking about the team leading up to a season 2 weeks out or whatever. Y'all haven't mentioned the quarterback.
Because I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm not a Jimmy G fan. I'm definitely not a Brian Hoyer fan. And Aiden O'Connell, who a lot of people were talking about this the preseason, that he looked good and all these things. I've seen a lot of guys look good in the preseason and make 15, 20-yard, 10-yard passes. No long bombs, no big plays, nothing. I mean, you want to go ahead and anoint him as the future of your franchise when you've got Justin Herbert.
He looked like Derek Carr in his first
year.
That's who he looked like. He looked like Derek Carr.
He didn't look like he was blowing anybody's mind.
No. His mustache, though. That porn stash.
The porn stash is what he's all about.
I mean, this guy looks like Peter Holmes.
Porn stash is a good name for the dude.
You know, or somebody.
Pornstache O'Connell.
Pornstache O'Connell, man. You know, he's probably a good Christian kid, but damn it.
He looks like he's 16.
Yeah.
He looks like a kid.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know if he's supposed to be the future.
Yeah.
I mean, is he the backup if what you call it goes down? Because Brian Hoyer sucks.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
put it this way. Because you've got Jimmy G with his career record of not finishing a season, and then you have Brian Hoyer who's forgetful from the get-go,
right?
You might see Pornstache O'Connell on the field this year at some point or another. Get at least a chance to go out there and throw a few passes. It's gonna happen.
Well, we could have had Aaron Rodgers. We're done.
So, what are you guys' prediction for your team as record-wise? Early.
Do we have to do that?
No, I'm not doing that. Okay, I will. I'll be surprised if we get 6 wins. If we start to get anything more than that somewhere where the season starts to matter towards the end of the season, where if we win a couple games, we might get in the playoffs. That could happen. But are they going to go out there and light it up? I mean, come on, you got to open up against Denver in Denver, and then you got and even though we keep beating them, doesn't mean we're going to beat them every fucking time.
Right.
All right, and they're only getting better.
Right.
And then ultimately, you're talking the next game against the Bills, and
Josh Allen is going to bombard you motherfuckers like a blitzkrieg.
So there you go. If they go into this home opener at 0-2, that would suck hardcore.
What do you say, Steph?
I mean, I'll go. You know, it's interesting because I was thinking 7 wins. You know, I was thinking, maybe 7 wins.
You keep thinking that.
So I think a lot of the people that
What people? What are you, Trump?
A lot of our fans have
a lot of who?
A lot of fans like on Twitter and I'm not on Twitter, which I won't call X. I mean, that's just stupid. Though it's Twitter, But Twitter and Instagram on the Raiders page are like, we're lucky if we win 2 games this year. So people's estimates are really low, predictions are really low for the Raiders this year. At least the real fans, not the ones that are kissing.
Well, they're not
I'm going to be
around
watching
the league.
Aaron Rodgers and play for the Jets a lot this year. I'll be honest about
The
that.
Jets, the Jets are the marquee team coming out of going into the season. They've been on the Hard Knocks this season on HBO. It's been pretty interesting. There's some characters that are emerging that, if they can win, will jump into the national spotlight just based on the pedigree and the cachet of being around Aaron Rodgers, what his name means in the NFL too.
Yeah.
He seems to be taking to New York well. I wish they'd get some new unis though. Them shirts they wear and all that.
That's it. That's
Pop
their
Warner
classic.
looking at shit that
Don't
they're wearing,
change. Don't change. Yeah.
No, these new ones they got suck.
Oh no.
They're terrible, But anyway, so they're going to be interesting to watch. Of course, Buffalo. They'll be challenging Buffalo and expected to challenge Buffalo. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson,
right. He's
re-signed,
yeah.
and they got some weapons. Odell Beckham Jr. will return after having not played for the last
his bone
2 years. He'll be out there, for Baltimore.
Of course, your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Trevor, baby!
Trevor Lawrence, who, hey, he came back and beat Justin Herbert in the playoff game.
He sure did.
Right.
And I'm saying,
I will say right there, that game alone was enough to make me now watch him from this point on with every game he plays on.
Wow.
Because he can do it.
Yeah.
He did it when it mattered the most.
Right.
His team rallied around him,
Right.
and he played like as Raider Rob's been talking now for 2-3 years, a marquee, real deal star NFL quarterback, and it's only his first couple of years. I mean, come on, he's only going to get better and better and better.
I mean, it's safe to say I called it so far on him, but it also matters what he does now with this team, a revamped for them, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right.
So,
and getting rid of him too.
The best place for him, for Trevor, may end up just being in Jacksonville under Doug Peterson. And being able to get that team to being a contender, like Stone said, got to the playoffs last year, got a playoff victory. So
down how many points? 21 points.
Yeah,
or something like
it's
that.
a tough division. The Cincinnati Bengals are still in the mix with Joe Burrow if he can stay healthy. That's the key thing with the Jets. Rodgers has got to stay healthy. They've got to keep him upright. Because teams are going to be coming for him again. We're just talking about Jerry Rice's introduction to the AFC.
Right.
It's something about the NFL where underneath all the pomp and circumstance and some of the soft ass play, there are still the NFC having that culture of football that it is, and the AFC having that culture of football that it is. And the AFC to me has always been the harder hitting, more defensive, aggressively defensive conference.
Absolutely.
And so. Motherfuckers are going to be after Aaron Rodgers. They're going to be coming for
And that's why you only think the Raiders might win maybe 6. Maybe.
Oh, in our division, of course, everyone's picking,
the Chiefs.
The Chiefs. And so am I.
Oh, man. You really...
Raider Rob has fully come to the
You have to take a
surface.
break there. The freaking Chiefs.
He's rooting for the Chiefs.
I'm going to run away with you.
Over the Raider.
Oh, my
Look, he's
God.
even sitting back way on the corner, relaxed, nonchalant.
He's going to run away with it. They're going to be, what are they going to be? What is it? How many games? 12 and... So they're going to be 13 and whatever that comes out to if they're carrying it 2. They're going to be 13 and 4.
We're sick. Fuck the Chiefs.
And as always, fuck the Chargers.
Exactly.
But you hate the Chargers.
Always.
But you're cool with the Chiefs.
No, why not?
Why not?
Get a rope.
It's not the team down the street.
Whatever. It's the Chiefs.
Devontae's going to want out.
Lost it.
Devontae's going to want out by week 7.
Yeah, if he doesn't
There's
want
gonna
out
be
by now,
rumblings,
we've already. Yeah.
Are you good on football?
No, I'm not good on football because I just really, real quick wanted to just say and run through some of the odds. When we're talking about odds here, just have a little fun. One that is great to see. This is from South Point, trusted, and just a great sports book here in Las Vegas, here in South Vegas, on South Las Vegas Boulevard, South Point. Great food, great everything there, great gaming, and the sports book and the race book patronize a lot there, and it's just good fun, man. It's a nice spot to, go and kick it and really get an atmosphere of Vegas that isn't the hustle and bustle of the Strip, And so on that, like I said, I trust their sports book. The NFL Championship for 2023 and 24. First, in the AFC, though, which is good to see, haven't seen this in a while, their projection for the New England Patriots is that they are 40-1 favorites to win the AFC Championship. That is...
Yeah, they're done.
That's beautiful!
They're done. They got theirs. They used them for what they could for all those years. They got their red, white, and blue muffins at the local grocery store. Mm-hmm. They're done. Mm-hmm. They're done. And now they're taking over.
Are they done forever? Are they done?
And now they're taking over the fucking Raiders.
Yeah, they are. That's what's up.
So, NFL Championship, the favorite to win the NFL Championship, which we know as the Super Bowl, is the Kansas City Chiefs at 6-1. The Niners, for some weird reason, are picking 6-1. I don't get that at all, especially with the overhaul quarterback they've gone through. Trey Lance getting traded down to Dallas. It's like, what the hell's up with that shit?
Yeah, that was interesting.
The Bengals are 8-1. That's pretty good. Y'all team is 40-1 favorites. Las Vegas Silver and Black, 40-1 favorites.
So okay, well,
to win the Super Bowl.
How's that work? If I'm 40-1, I put down $100.
And if they go to the Super Bowl, and win it, you get $40. You get $100 40 times.
$400,000? 40,000.
How much you think we're gonna put down?
100. Carry the $100.
Then you get $4,000.
4,000?
Yeah.
That's not down.
It's not. It's like, I don't know. People that bet on the NFL.
For a pipe dream?
Right. Exactly.
I think I might be losing my $100.
The worst odds are the fucking American hoop lemon that is their car. Outdated model in the world.
They're the worst.
At 50-1.
They're the worst?
They have the longest odds.
Because I can tell right now the Saints are going.
Other than the Commanders. Commanders are 60-1.
Okay, well that's pretty bad too. The Saints. I predict they're gonna win their division. Definitely go to the playoffs.
And I'm sorry, the Bears are 101 favorites. The Bears are 101 favorites.
Oh, they're the worst word.
Now you put $100 on them.
Yeah, then what do you get?
Then you get $100.
Oh yeah? Well, I don't think they're gonna win. So
anyway, that was just a little run around the league. We'll do this throughout the season, but get your picks down.
That's because you're a gambler.
Take some of the long shots. Yes, I'm a gambler. You want to tell everybody?
I don't know who else would be interested in fucking picks and all that bullshit if they're not a gambler.
Put in your comments what you think the record of the Las Vegas Silver and Black team is going to be, and also your gambling picks. And prove to Uncle Stone that a lot of y'all are into blowing your money on this freaking setup ass shit. Anyway, that's it on the NFL, man. Good luck to you all.
Thanks, we'll need it.
Since we do want you to like, share, and subscribe here at RaiderFan Radio, which you've been doing in droves, and we're very stoked about.
Thank you.
Of course, we love when you give your comments, and that's why in this next segment we will play the comments
on our show.
Right here, RaiderFan Radio.
Comments.
RaiderFanradio.com.
Stoner dudes here to let you know about the comments.
You can check in with us with your comments at
send them to our show.
RaiderFan Radio.
RaiderFanradio.Vegas.
Beautiful.
Where's the button? Give me a clap button. Thank you. That's right. Live.
We're in preseason
on the internet.
Right. We're
preseason.
You get real talent in the room. And that's something you can't say about every other radio show out there.
Okay.
Actual talent.
Yeah.
In the room.
And we're live.
So
we'll do
the comments, so you can all.
Oh, I know one thing. Fuck Danny Amendola.
You got me all wound up for my.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah,
I just thought about this.
Why are you living in the past, man? Let it go.
He's a fucking coach on the fucking team. That little squirrely ass piece of shit.
Yeah, you had Downey. You've got Amendola. You got Brady. You got all these other Patriots. You got Bill Belichick. You got the Ziegler. You got it all. You got the Patriots.
Well, that was my comment for the week.
Yes, well, you're right about that. Heidi Glassman.
Heidi girl. How are you? Good to talk to you.
Only on this show would you actually hear the Green Acres theme song. Yeah, I was pretty impressed myself too. We did a little Green Acres breakdown last week, and the music came up. Silver, who's the producer for the show?
Silver Black.
Silver Black produces the show. Well, Silver Black, I think, is an excellent, awesome producer.
Yeah.
I think one of the greatest producers of all time that should be making millions and millions of dollars.
Silver, you hear that?
But for us, you should work for nothing but love and affection.
And Raider Art, who's a great contributor too. We love you, Art. Thank you so much, man. Something's in the mail coming to you soon here. Sorry.
I know all the names had numbers on them, right? Like 0236.
It's a new thing. It's a new thing.
I am not reading any more numbers unless I deem it necessary to read the number.
No, you ain't gotta read the number. But it's a new thing that what's called doing YouTube. You can go and get it changed. I wouldn't change mine.
Stonedude 420 XL.
You have to make them.
You can go back and change it. I wouldn't change mine back.
So Ben Duke Ohar.
Ben Duke Ohar.
Where are you from, Ben Duke?
Ohio.
This crew always makes me Google things.
I know that.
But I feel bad. I actually look at an encyclopedia too. So
there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, Ben.
Educating folks on the internet, on YouTube.
I say stick with the encyclopedia. Go down to your local library. You want a real blast? Get on the microfiche machine.
Microfiche.
Okay, that'll blow your mind. You can go back and...
You don't have that anymore.
You don't have that anymore?
I don't think so. Let us know. Put in the comments if there's still microfiche.
Encyclopedia.
Maybe you haven't gone to many libraries anytime recently.
Encyclopedia is more your friend than that Google shit is.
Wow.
Yeah, Google's fixed. Although encyclopedias can be fixed too. I think it's all fixed. It's all rigged. It's all made up stories to make somebody look good. Alright, so anyways, Ben Duke, thank you very much.
Right on, Ben Duke.
TikTok DL4Q. Now I put the name in there.
Right on.
Because it had TikTok first, DL4Q. It kind of goes together. It's not just random, it means something.
So his real name is TikTok. DL.
But there's lots of TikToks out there. This is TikTok DL4Q. Vow of silence, Raider Rob. LOL. I can't, bro. This is epic. He loves the vow of silence by Raider Rob.
Let me be clear with you, TikTok. It's a vow of silence about speaking the Las Vegas Silver and Black team's name. Speaking positively about them because I have nothing positive to say. And it's about, being more critical with my talents as a verbal gymnast than, giving my support of my great word and understanding of football to them cocksuckers down the street who have fucked up our franchise by letting a bunch of freaking refugees from New England infiltrate what is ours.
They are refugees. They were brought in. It's a coup.
Right.
No, that's not a coup. A coup was a takeover.
A coup about it.
They're refugees because they're not wanted. Okay? They're not wanted.
Oh, you don't like refugees?
Huh? I like the song by Tom Petty.
They don't have to live like a refugee. But, so, IEC.
Trying to get me in a political quagmire.
IEC Gularak, I think. And First 2313. These are two individuals. Loved the Virginia Madden clip and her love for Oakland.
Right on.
That one hits a chord. That one hits a chord.
Yeah, right on.
DAF for service. Subscribe so I don't miss the Barrett Robbins interview.
Right. Okay.
Wow, we got some exclusivities.
RaiderFan Radio exclusive.
When do you think that Barrett Robbins interview will see the light of day?
Well, we're gonna tease, you guys. Sorry, and what's his name? Monsieur
DAF for service.
DAF.
DAFF.
Probably has his own
DAF.
business.
Yeah. DAF. What we're planning on doing, what the plan is now that we're getting our website redone by a new
Chris.
Yeah, what's up, Chris? Shout out to Chris.
So we got a website?
Yeah, our website is making an extreme comeback, and that is why
it's getting redone. And so that's where we're going to have the full interview, but we're going to get some clips, a couple of clips of the interview up, just to show you mugs we're not fronting and we're not bullshitting you. And we did pop the picture up too that showed you that we had it. But anyway, thank you, Daph, for your interest.
Right on.
And yeah, we're damn sure going to get it up. Probably, hopefully by the end of the first month of the football season, into September.
I think it'll be done before that, and we'll see. But very excited about what Chris is doing.
Chris is our internet.
He is our guru.
Is
he
it
is
a
Generation
dude or a
X.
chick name?
It is a dude.
Even in this time of where everything's the same.
Right.
I'm just curious. Chris is one of those names.
Right, it is.
And I don't know this Chris.
Right, you don't know this Chris.
But I will know this Chris.
You will know this Chris, and you will know him well.
I'll be thanking Chris for putting our website together.
Yes, finally. The one that we had, got to get rid of that. So, moving on.
All right, FF Gaming Shorts. That's a gnarly name.
Right on.
FF Gaming Shorts.
What's a gaming company? They're saying hi to us.
We'll take it. We like games. I like games.
That's all good.
That Phil Villapiano footage is why I can't watch the new Raiders. Oh yeah, that's what he says. I can't watch what you guys call the new Raiders.
Wow.
So there's now people out there calling it the new Raiders.
Checking on your thing there, the new Raiders, because they are the new Raiders.
They're not the old Raiders, that's for sure.
And they're the RAI-TRIOTS. I want you to start, you folks that see what time it is and you're against this bullshit, okay, and you're disgusted with the direction the team's going. Let's get that out there. The RAI-TRIOTS.
That's your name.
Make sure we highlight that so when this shit crumbles and falls, it will be put on the people that should be put on. Okay? And it don't make a difference if Tom Slick buys the team or not. Alright? Because fuck him. It's gonna fail under him too if he buys the team. And I think that once he sees how garbage the rest of these Patriot motherfuckers are, he's not gonna be standing alone holding the bag for owning this team and have his name attached to it. When they're just gonna suck for the next 20 years.
Random Post 687 says, beautiful Black Hole Stef literally breaks down alien arrival in the 50s. This show is slay. Is that the new word? Slay.
All right.
Are we slay?
Slay.
Is that anything like Slayer?
That was us, right? Our generation.
I was Slayer.
Slayer.
I'm a Slayer.
I used to rehearse right next door to the band's heavy speed metal band Slayer.
Is that Kerry King?
Wow.
Kerry King, Dave Lombardo, the great drummer.
Yeah.
I used to, okay, I got the story. I used to pass out wasted in Orange, California, in a warehouse because I was at the age, I had 20s, late teens, early 20s, going out on Saturday night, maybe having a few too many, and I would come back to the warehouse to pass out because there'd be nobody there on a Sunday. You would think, right? A warehouse, middle of nowhere. On a Sunday, you think you're going to pass out and be able to sleep in as long as you want.
Yeah.
Right? Get it all out.
Right.
I would pass out around 3, 4 in the morning, sometimes 5, in a pitch black warehouse. And the wall this close to me, the drummer for Slayer, Dave Lombardo, would come and practice his double bass drum.
No way!
Early on a Sunday with his cup of coffee in his hand. And the whole wall was just, and here I am, like, just finally passing out with all that stuff inside me. And it was, you ever seen the episode of I Love Lucy when the train goes by and the bed and everything moves across the room and it goes back and it's like an earthquake. That's what I got to do. So I like being slay. That's good. I like that word. Ghost Caller 7672. We miss Oakland. I get my little piece of Oakland here thanks to the crew.
that's cool.
Right on, man. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Just so you were throwing there, Steph?
Oh no, this is something else. No,
All right.
Okay.
Lara Mitias Lopez. Being a Raider fan is like living in a bad dream.
Oh, sister.
It's about to get worse. It's about to be a fucking horror show. What's her name? Senora?
Lara Matias.
Senora Lara.
Lopez.
El Diablo. Diablo. Luego Diablo. Just all of that. Hell, Alicia. It's about to be all of it. All of it.
It's like, it's
the
funny.
worst dream ever.
It's funny because it's like listening to you read these, people are really just like,
they're feeling it. They're feeling it.
They're real Raider fans. They're real Raider fans, and they know what it's supposed to look like.
Right.
They know what the legend and the legacy is, and rather if they are young, like one of the guys earlier, you know, and the guy Duke, even if you are young, you know that they obviously know what the history, the tradition of the team, and what the team is known to be.
Right.
You know,
they have an
and
idea.
they want that.
Mm-hmm.
They want that football. They see that the team they support on TV is out-attended by visiting and opposing fans. Right. You don't have to be a Las Vegas silver and black fan to understand what it means to have home field advantage and have other opposing fans be the dominant presence.
You used to walk in the Oakland
venue.
Coliseum. You had banners and signs, and that was the best part of the. Like I said, it was about the fans. They went and took it over and decorated it.
Right.
Those days are gone.
Y'all gotta take it over again. It ain't gone. They just gotta have the passion and the want and a reason.
And they just gotta do it.
You know.
Right.
Nobody ever asked permission.
Right. Not
as far as I could tell.
But they got a bunch of Watergate Iran-Contra motherfuckers running the team.
Oh, here's one for you, Rob. Heidi Glassman and G. Kemugo13932. I like that realignment concept. It could work out best for Oakland, Las Vegas, and LA.
Yes.
Wow.
And
all right.
many fans like your Scorpions idea.
Las Vegas Scorpions?
Yeah.
It could happen, folks. Let's get a what is it? A GoFundMe page?
Right.
Who knows? You know, we could raise enough money
together.
Yeah, let's do it.
For me to be the general manager and owner, and we could draw up the concept, and what would happen is all of you that go funded would be minority owners in the team.
Wow,
in the Las Vegas
That's a good way to get some money rolling in.
Let's do it.
Well, yeah, I'm not trying to scam nobody. Like a lot of motherfuckers out here doing with funerals and shit like that. I really want to do it legit and put a real comprehensive proposal. You know, we did it once before. I did it once before.
Yeah, and it
and
worked.
Put a proposal together.
You mean when you brought the Raiders to Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why a lot of people hate me.
I don't hate you, Rob.
Old friends from Oakland.
I like you and Raider Rob. I like all the Robs.
Right on. Anyway.
Only a couple more. We're almost there. Raider Man.
Raider
What's
Man.
the new show?
The friendly neighborhood.
What's his show?
Oh,
Raider Man of Richmond.
Right. Podcast.
Yeah.
So you
Raider
can find
Man
Raider Man's podcast online. He approved me, Stonedude, for the Black Pass.
Ah!
So I got
Did you
another.
make one?
I did. No, it's coming.
Oh!
The Black Pass is coming. Working on it.
Got the Black Pass, baby.
Working on it.
I got the Black Pass.
I got
That was great.
I'm stacking up my Black Pass vouchers.
I heard that.
All right. Hung Fam. That's a name.
Hung Fam.
Is that you playing Brad drums on the opening song show number 41, Stoner Dude? I'll pat myself on the back and say yes. Show number 41.
What time it is?
Opened up with the band Vox. The song was Suffering. We
Love that
Suffering. Great song.
And
Great song, Victoria.
The drums are recorded here at the Tone Factory in Las Vegas. I think the best recording studio
What's up, Vinny?
I've ever been in. And of course you'll be hearing the new song that we're releasing, Raiderhed. Once a Raider, always a Raider. Before we go into the to play the opening
Show it to Oyo.
game.
All right.
Show it the Oyo.
Don't forget the Oyo Hotel and Casino. Oyo. on Tropicana at Boulevard here in Las Vegas, September 23rd, 9 p.m. Okay, Raiderhed live in the Rock and Roll Show at the Oyo Hotel and Casino.
Every weekend, Raider fans come hang out and party with us.
Wow.
2 more. Blue Master asks,
Blue Monster?
Blue Master.
Oh, Blue
Master.
Like you said,
now, as you all know,
that's a drug reference. That motherfucker somewhere.
We do speak a lot about the cannabis industry, and we speak about all the various dispensaries around town, and the fact that you can get weed now all over Vegas.
Wow.
In other parts of the country, drug laws are starting to kind of loosen up here and there. So Blue Master wants to know, because he's coming, or he or she is coming to Vegas, is magic mushrooms legal in Vegas?
I don't know, man, but bring your own. Don't tell nobody. If you travel, man, bring your own. Shut the fuck up. Don't try to sell them to anybody. And you can have magic mushrooms in Las Vegas.
I didn't get a chance to go back and look.
But to answer the question, don't you know?
Technically,
officially,
lawfully, no. But adding and piggybacking onto what you just said.
But you're Las Vegas silver
if
black
you do
man.
bring some magic mushrooms to Vegas, make sure you contact us here at RaiderFanadio@gmail.com. And legal or not, we will at least find out if they really are magic. Last one, and last but not least, this is from Uisgo. Thank you.
Luisgo?
Uisgo. Uisgo.
Hey,
Uisgo.
Oh, that's what they're saying.
Uisgo.
They're saying
Uisgo.
Uisgo.
Yeah,
McDaniels.
their name.
I'm gonna go on record right now and say that's not his real name.
Likely not.
You want to read it? Look. Y-U-I-S-G-O.
No, that's just because that's there doesn't mean that's the.
Can I suggest something to all the listeners and viewers out there? For me, Stonedude, I would appreciate this. And be able just to add to the show. I will use your name if you want me to. But
I'm just bullshit.
But if you want to maybe give me a name to say, or a nickname, or whatever, anywhere inside within the body, not the name of the YouTube subscriber channel, but an actual nickname to go with their comment.
Okay.
You know, Heidi.
Well, they probably don't want that out
Heidi
there.
Glassman's Heidi Glassman. Well, we just call her Heidi.
They probably don't want that out there either because the machine can track that.
Just give me a fake name. Make a nickname. Alright. Do it or don't. Either way, I'll just keep saying.
What is Uisgo?
I'll just keep saying Uisgo.
Boy, that's the uncle response that there ever was. Well, Dub, you don't want to ride out of hell with
This
you.
is a
Tell
show
your mama
uncle.
said I.
Last one from Uisgo. McDaniels can't even control that waistline.
Dang.
47 to 60.
Ooh.
Which really makes me really wonder why. Why is it that?
It makes you wonder.
It makes me wonder. I wonder. How come like head coaches, right? They got to go out there and kick everyone's ass,
right?
To get in the best shape they can to go win a Super Bowl,
right?
And then they come out looking like, say, the Walrus for
You're right.
The Chiefs.
The Walrus, right?
Or even I was, as much as I loved you, Coach Gruden. Remember last year you were here. We were definitely talking.
Oh, he was
about,
Carl's Jr.
You were talking about
last year.
There was a lot more to you back then. I hope you've at least, and I really do hope you burned down the NFL.
Please, can I come?
We'll be there.
I got some
marshmallows.
I got some matches. I got kerosene. I got all kinds of shit.
Oh.
You know, on some real talk, John. Get with me.
So, anyways, well, obviously Josh McDaniels.
But
you like that clam chowder.
To that point about a coach, looking the part, but also being able to motivate and get the. Matt Miller doesn't see it. He said it a couple of times during the preseason that they asked him about the comparisons they always do with older players to today.
Right.
What's the difference of that? He said, he went out to some of the practices and all that. He's like, this whole fucking sitting on your helmet, even your helmet off.
Right.
All these water breaks. He's like,
one a day is not two a day.
Yeah, he's like, we went an hour sometime without water.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they said
Without a
the
water
salt
break.
rocks.
Yeah. You know,
Wow.
and he said, and he, you know, I know they might not have him back because he was being very critical and keeping it real, which is what we grew up on and appreciate. But he was like, it's soft, and the Raiders, it's soft over there too.
I love
Matt Dillon is one of my favorite players.
Like, it's soft over there too, and the practices today are inferior to what, you know, so don't, basically, subliminally say, right, don't expect, just in kind of a generalization, the NFL as a whole, the game is depreciated.
Right, it has.
Because of that.
It has.
Because of all the pussification, as you called it, way back in 03 and 04, that is now seeped into the NFL, where, they treat these, you know, $24 million a year motherfuckers, you know, like they're on the Glee team or some shit. Does they still have Glee clubs?
Matt Millen, especially when he was a Raider, but of course for his whole career,
on a softball.
Is one of the best linebackers there.
Ever
played for the
Hell yeah.
And when that guy talks and has something to say, I definitely at least.
Hey, then he went to the fucking Niners.
Yeah. Hey. Did he win a Super Bowl with them too, though? Right?
Who cares?
Yeah, he
Those
sure did.
players played without.
That's because he's Matt Millen.
Right. That's because he's Matt Millen. And when he played, they didn't have to take the thing in order to play. So they didn't have to take the thing. So they were, you know, those were the type of athletes that don't exist anymore. And they are going to be coddled in a lot because you don't want what happened, you know, in that championship game to be happening all the time on the league like it is in soccer and the Olympics and, you know, the older players that participated in that program. The league is actually pulling that back as well. So that requirement won't exist for you to have the thing before you play.
All right, well, what thing are we on now?
We're on the thing that I warned you motherfuckers. Okay. I warned y'all earlier this summer. I did a couple of features as I've been doing for the last couple of years, telling you about the dangers that were on the horizon from the animal world. Okay? I use my animal instincts. You know, I'm part cat, and I've tapped into the universe of the animal world, and they have just about had it with you humans, okay?
And women.
And it has been duly noted over the last couple of years, and there's been a great uptick around the world, and particularly in America, of animals attacking, animals uprising, animals snatching motherfuckers out their car.
Like Planet
Animals going in.
Yeah, right.
The Bears are winning. These niggas.
That's the only place that
they go. They're swimming. They're swimming. There was one the other day that went in a mug's house while he was in there and walked past him, laying on his couch, and went into his kitchen.
Yeah, they watched some on TV with the remote control.
Man.
He's like, I'm hungry. You guys have fucked up the forest. You're burning it with your laser. They're starting wildfires.
I will get you with my laser.
Right. You know, wow. The Bears are like coming in.
The Bears are winning.
They know what's
up. Along with the Sharks.
Uh-oh.
Don't fuck with the Sharks.
Oh, but the Sharks have been like coming up on the damn beach.
What?
A couple of cases this past summer.
Wait, Sharks can get the Bears?
No, the Sharks, Long Island and off the coast of South Carolina, which is getting hit with that hurricane right now. There have been 2 cases of some of the Sharks coming like inland, like up
on the dirt, on the sand,
and grabbing motherfuckers
and taking them back with the tiger.
Wow. Yes.
Play if you want to.
Of course, this year, either the Danzig or not the Danzig, that's World War II. The Zambian River, or one of the rivers in Africa. Back in don't be fucking with the Africans. Back in early June, alligator.
Oh no!
Ate a man whole.
Yeah, that can happen.
Oh, they can do
off
that.
The coast. Yeah. Some good old boys in Mississippi, Alabama the other day caught like a 2,000-pound alligator.
Check out this monster gator these guys pulled out of a river. Weighing in at over 800 pounds, the 14-foot-long reptile looks like something straight out of Jurassic Park.
14 feet. Woo! Down there in Mississippi.
So what do you attest and attribute all this strange animal activity?
God is moving the animals to give us all a warning. And also remind you that you, man, alone are not in control.
Right.
And anywhere you go,
you're not at the top of the
I can bring wrath and appetizers to these other creatures that I eat by way of you. Let's talk about one case.
Oh, you got a case?
What's one of the cutest animals?
The what? The what animal?
Cutest.
Cute. Strictly cute.
Yeah.
A chipmunk.
Funny.
A chipmunk. What's cuter than a chipmunk?
What do you say?
I'm gonna say.
Come on, you're a chick.
I
You
know,
should know
I'm
this.
stoned,
It should be at the top of your cute brain.
The first thing that popped into mind was that little tiny cat that used to get on the dog in the Warner Brothers cartoon. And
A kitten?
A kitten is the cutest.
What's cuter than a kitten?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say puppy. I'm a dog dude. But
Neither
yes,
one.
point being.
In Montana.
This is why we got together tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
An otter. An otter.
Otters don't fuck. You don't fuck with no otter.
Yeah,
they're vicious.
They're cute, but they're mean.
Left 3 women hurt, including one flown to the hospital after an attack. Up in Caldwell, Montana, the Sappington Bridge, about 8 o'clock a few weeks ago. Okay, some otters, okay, these women out there hanging out on the riverbank, spotted 1 or 2 otters, and one of the otters swam over and attacked them.
Swam over.
The otters left after the women got out of the water. One of the women suffered injuries serious enough that a helicopter had to be flown in to fly her to the hospital. The woman who was flown to the hospital had severe bites to her face and arms.
Man.
The other women had superficial wounds also.
How did they confront this otter?
How
did they confront the otter? Like, what was the scenario that made an otter?
The otter attacked.
From where?
The otter was in the water. Pay attention. The women were out in the fucking Jefferson River. Okay?
And the otter swam up.
And the otter swam over and attacked them after they were spotted by the otter.
Okay.
The otter had it out for him. And he's honed in.
The Montana Wildlife Fish and Game Department says while attacks from otters are rare, otters can be protecting themselves, their young, especially at close distances. Although this sounds like they were quite a ways over the water, they could have minded their otter ass business, but they didn't. That's my whole point.
I ain't going out where there's no otters.
The animals are not having it, man. And then there's some animals that are getting it.
What do you mean by getting it?
Let's segue.
What do you mean?
A woman in Michigan was charged with performing a feel-good act.
I was right.
On her dog.
I guessed this. Oh, no.
After her ex-boyfriend found disturbing footage.
We're getting kicked off of YouTube.
Brittany McClure. That's right. Look her up. Google her. Go to her IG.
Google her.
Snapchat. TikTok. All that. Brittany McClure, 30, was arrested for poop shooting.
Poop shooting?
Better known as sodomy. And animal abuse for the alleged assault of the couple's dog, Max.
Max is violated.
Yes.
The woman's ex-boyfriend found the video of her performing an act with the dog.
What was the act?
While reviewing footage on surveillance cameras he set up in the living room of their shared home.
He got it on video.
Police said the man turned the upsetting 6 minutes of footage over to investigate. In the video, quoted by Taylor Police Department Detective Philip Collett, quote, in that video it shows defendant Brittany McClure lying on the living room floor. All seductive,
she's ready,
and very fetching.
She's prepping.
Human being.
On a mattress with a blanket, not Michael Jackson's kid. She opens the blanket and she called the dog over.
Was there peanut butter involved?
They didn't say what kind of enticer was used. But anyway,
now that would be some advice to give to the kids out there.
Max came over. Max came over.
Enticer.
Match came over.
He called it enticed.
He did.
And performed the act of gratification.
No.
Better known as cunnilingus.
It was the gratification. Does that mean it's complete?
He was forced.
Or is it just
Is it complete?
I don't know if it was completed. All they reported is that on the tape, it shows Miss McClure saying to Max,
"Oh no,
good boy."
Oh, you dirty freaking man.
Where are we big in Turkey?
can't.
They like us in Turkey, right?
I don't
That's
know
what Turkish
anymore.
people are listening to and commenting on.
Oh my God.
Raider Rob's dog news.
Lieutenant Frank Canning, who also viewed the tape,
you said you were going to
said it was plain as day. Because that girlfriend performed a fellatio with that dog named Max.
Oh no.
That her attempts to get Max to reciprocate.
Really? Like you mean like?
I don't know, Stone. I don't want
kind of an interest of fetish
6 and a 9. Is that what they're doing? Is that what they're doing?
Not with the dog.
No, she was.
I'm glad everybody tuned in tonight to.
She was 7-9.
This is the world that you live in. I'm sorry.
This is what's going on out
I
here.
didn't do this.
This is what's going on out here, man. This is what's going on. Keeping with the animal theme.
We should just do a whole hour on animals.
Oh, we'll get back to that. We'll put that on our other channel. That'll be on our Patreon channel.
Yeah, we definitely need channels now. I can listen to that all day.
Right.
And night.
Keeping with the animal theme, Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell says that the NFL shot down his idea to have a pet lion on the sideline.
That'd be a little dangerous.
That was fresh. I like that.
I mean, especially when you're talking about all these stories. You ain't gonna trust no lion on the football.
We would hope that none of the Lion fans would get horny enough and jump down and try to.
Point B is that lion is not safe on that field.
It's not. That's too.
I like it. I like it, Dan Campbell, and I am secretly rooting for the Detroit Lions. Have since he came in.
To have a lion.
Gimmicks.
He's got to get himself an offense and get his defense.
Yeah, how about get that first?
But I like the spirit that he brings and his kind of throwback mentality about football.
As long as he stops crying.
You know, he understands where he's at, and he wants to interject, some liveliness to a fan base who has an identity.
That's some liveliness.
Bring something exciting and entertaining. Isn't the NFL entertainment?
No, not anymore.
It is entertainment.
They should get the Wizard of Oz.
It's shitty entertainment.
Yeah,
but it's entertainment, and I think that having a lion on the side of the field, particularly if they play the Saints, and there's a chance that lion might get a chance to bite Derek Carr.
Okay. What's up, bad?
Or they play the Raiders, and there's a chance that he might get a chance to take a bite out of Fat Boy, y'all's coach, the Las Vegas Twinkie.
Yes, he zeroes in like the otter, like that otter did.
But college football, they have animals on the sideline. The freaking Texas Longhorns for years of that Bevo, that big ass bovine out there. He's got to be 4,000 pounds. A lion. They'd have him, clipped up and all that.
But this is a lion.
They have him drugged up.
Right.
They have an IV going on that lion. I'm telling you, it's wrong. Don't do it. Go get the Cowardly Lion costume off the Wizard of Oz. They gotta run around the stadium. Leave the lions alone. They're attacking. They don't like you.
Right.
Well, staying in Detroit, sad news for all of you that grew up all the way back from, I guess, the late 1950s. And are still alive, and even all of us who have grown up since then and throughout the last 4 generations who are car enthusiasts, love cars, know cars.
Real cars, not Derek Carr.
Yeah, real cars. Yeah, C-A-R-S. GM, keeping with Detroit, has announced that they're going to stop making the iconic Chevrolet Camaro.
Oh, that's stupid.
How could you do that?
Wait. The iconic ones are the cool ones.
Yeah, but the brand itself.
Late 70s, 60s, 70s, into the early 80s.
I used to have one. I had a 68.
Yeah.
Why would you get rid of that?
Well, they said that sales are slumping, and that there isn't really a big culture anymore of muscle cars.
But I'll tell you what, I know the answer to that. Because they don't make them like that no more.
No.
Now that's a thing of beauty. Huxley, do you know what this is?
A 1970 Oldsmobile 442 with a 455 cubic inch engine, radial tires, and bucket seats.
I'm impressed.
I studied. Okay, now what?
Buckle up.
They don't make them look cool.
They can't make
They
them.
all look the same.
Yep.
I want to go see a Corvette. I'm going to go look through the 60s and 70s, see the ultimate Corvette Stingrays that look like a shark on the road.
Right.
Now they look like a, it's like a,
yeah.
They're all rip-offs
It's like
of
a
something
dining room
else.
table. It's
Right.
all aerodynamic, the same. It's flat
Right.
to the ground.
And they're all
they all look
somewhat
alike.
ripped off from something else. You know, like the Camaro is like it's trying to be the Batmobile, but it has shades of an Austin Martin.
I like it.
And some of the cut, you know, kind of reminds you of previous
That means they
Chevy
dropped
cars
the
that they
ball.
had. You know, huh?
That means they dropped the ball.
On what?
If you got to
Design?
discontinue something
Design?
that's great and classic because the sales aren't up and because no one wants them, it's because you suck at what you do.
That's real talk, Stone. That's real. Instead of putting it back
Like
on the
Amy Trask
consumer
when she couldn't
and saying,
sell out the fucking top of the damn Coliseum.
and she put it back on the fan. Well, nobody wants to come because the fans are just too blah 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 blah.
Fuck you.
So GM is doing the same thing. Well, people just don't want to buy it anymore. It's like, no, it's because the product sucks.
If you start selling yourself on that type of attitude, yeah, you're right. No one's going to want to buy it because you ain't selling it.
Right.
And I'm with you. They don't make a quality automobile that's appealing to the young
It looks
people.
cool with the tails and the flared out.
Right.
It's like that's what cool. Go Google all the awesome looking cars in the history of cars, and they've got cool shapes and they're made that way specifically for that reason.
That's real.
They're made to look cool and be different than the next, as opposed to now where everybody's pretty much copying an industry standard.
Right.
You're welcome.
And interesting enough, their car, the car that's doing it better than the Camaro in sales, is their electric car, the Volt. It's been around
It's been around a long time. That was the original one of the original. Yeah, electric cars.
Speaking of electric cars, there is a big backlash from to automakers by electric car owners who say they are fed up with, quote, useless, overly complicated tech features that are in these electric cars.
Yeah, you can.
Rather it comes from the dashboard, comes, you know, what do you call it? The buttons on the dashboard, you know, the features on the dashboard.
They got buttons now that are actually to switch the gears right next to the radio.
Right.
I'm not making this up. These are multi-billion dollar industries, and they're making switches a bunch of buttons, and they all fucking look alike. I want some things that do different things.
That's one of the complaints.
Twist this here, pull this in, get that.
That's one of the complaints, as well as sometimes because
you drive like this. You get all your extremities going.
Right.
Not ding.
That's one of the complaints, and they're also complaining that because of the electric, charge that periodically, all cars are not old cars. Yeah, stuff is not working all the time because it's not cars or whatever. So the windows up and down will be stuck periodically. Doors won't unlock.
And that's great that you brought that up.
You're inside the motherfucker, and you can't charge it. Meanwhile, it's losing energy or not being able to use the energy like a cell phone. You know, they don't have enough bars. They don't have enough bars. And you're actually trying to fucking get out. You're in Arizona.
This is Preseason. Or not planes, but it's smoking out. Right? So my battery died on the Tesla, and I don't know what happened. My car is on fire. They're asking me if I need help when I request service. Yeah, okay, bye.
Everybody got the car, sir?
Yeah. That was, I had to smash the window.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I kicked through the window.
Yeah.
Because everything stopped.
Yeah.
The power didn't work. The door didn't open. The windows didn't go down. So
Thank you.
It's 112, and your fucking ass is, you're stuck in that. Get it out.
That's literally what is happening, because to piggyback on your on that topic, Teslas, the windows are not rolling down, they're locking, the doors are locking.
You're gonna die.
And they're catching on fire like Mentos. It's like this guy had to kick out his driver's side window, which fortunately he was able to do.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, to get out
to get out because it was smoky and it caught on fire.
Death traps.
He could have died.
Yeah.
And then second, the U.S., the United States, auto safety regulators are finally bringing up the problem with the Teslas. Nobody wants to talk about that openly, but it's happening. Like, they brought up that these Teslas are like losing control and smashing right into things, catching on fire.
Wasn't that an Elon Musk problem and not a government problem?
That is an Elon Musk problem because he has so much money. All they do is call him, call Tesla, and Tesla says, we don't have any comment on that.
I have a question. Why don't they just have a little compartment? You just open up the little slide and there's a little handle as a backup.
And what they did,
I want to roll real quick. You're in a car, you're in the Bay Area or near the water somewhere by a pier.
Right.
And it's like a movie, like a Clint Eastwood movie or whatever movie you want to talk about. Action, car chase scene, you're in it.
Bullets, Steve McQueen.
And all of a sudden, you're in the car, and you go flying off into the water off of the end of the pier or a dock.
Right.
What would you rather have? A roll-up window or an electric window?
A roll-up window. Roll up, roll down. Manual.
That's all the argument I need in my life to make me justify a roll-up fucking window.
I mean, I still got some time to get my bank account fatter where I could afford one of those fat luxury cars, and I wouldn't. And there's only so many years I would go back and buy a commercial for them. I wouldn't buy a new car older than 2010, maybe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Fuck that shit.
Right. Actually, older cars and used cars they're making more off of those than they are off the new cars.
Right.
So they're trying to get rid of that inventory, but the U.S. since 2016 has opened more than a dozen Tesla special crash investigations. And one of the safety issues, that's the thing, is like they take away the safety mechanisms for the car. So they decided that on their upgrade, when they have you come in and upgrade, they took away that lever inside of the car that would allow you to release it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, manually if something happened.
So I kicked through the window because everything stopped.
Yeah.
The power didn't work, the door didn't open, the windows didn't go down.
So if something is happening, these cars are, like becoming death traps, and nobody's saying anything about them. They cost about $100,000, some of them. And the guy said, wow, I can't even go in, and now they won't even make the car with the lever so that you can lift it up manually. And then in San Francisco, the cruise, which is called the Robo-Taxi. The Robo-Taxi. They had taxis in San Francisco that basically operated on their own.
Them ghost taxis? Yeah,
right,
the ghost taxis.
Where nobody's driving. And so as a result, they have to reduce their inventory because the cruises are stopping in the middle of the street, causing blocking intersections and just, with people in them, just not operating anymore. The Robo-Taxi is now not a success story in San Francisco
That's got
anymore.
deadly written all over it. All of it does.
Teslas too.
There you go. Those are the electric cars.
Okay.
Go get one if you want one. Me, frankly, I want a combustible engine. You won't make gas cheaper, and you won't give me a more fuel efficient vehicle because you don't want to sell me cheap gas. You want to bypass me and get me stranded in the middle of fucking nowhere with an electric car.
Right.
Well, you know,
and tell me I'm saving the environment.
My thing, I call them little toasters. You know, you're riding around in a toaster or a toaster oven. You know, and yes, you can charge it up, you can think it's fuel efficient, cool. You know, but yes, it's a danger.
It's dangerous.
Because electrical wiring will subject to fail.
Batteries blow.
Shit overheat, it's too hot, moderating all of that in the act of driving or no, you know, whatever. It's just a hazard. You know, it's a serious hazard, and we've been down this road before when it came to the electric car. It was one of the things that the auto industry, key points that the auto industry argued against the production of electric cars for.
And whoever's running the grid and the company who sells you a car can shut you off just like your cell phone like that.
Yep.
And you're done.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. And that's kind of what they want.
Kinda. Yeah. That's the end game.
Yep, your electronic credit card, your cashless societies. You got no cash. You got a card that doesn't
everything
operate
electric. And someone can just turn you off like that. There you are for whatever reason they want.
What was the guy
That's not freedom.
Matthew Hastings.
Right. Michael
I'm
Hastings.
sure a lot of Michael Hastings.
Look him up. What happened to his car?
The millennials know about that. That's in their generation, their wheelhouse. Want to say real quick, man, farewell to some notable people that are part of the pop culture and the culture here that, you know, were notable in their life, man, and made an impact. People I remember particularly. Randy Meisner, the founder and one of the founders, along with Glenn Fry of the legendary American band The Eagles, who passed away not long ago, a couple weeks ago, and was behind some of their great early hits. So just a, you know, salutation and farewell to him, a man that helped, you know, introduce that California rock sound that dominated, you know, the radio back when we were growing up. You know, and the Eagles, of course, being the preeminent California rock band. Also, I don't know, I never got it confirmed myself, but I saw it briefly.
There's no
last week.
confirmation, but you're going to go ahead.
Yeah, because I believe it happened, and you know, would also understand why the industry wouldn't want to highlight it. But you know, Clarence Avant, better known as the Black Godfather. There's a great documentary running on him on Netflix right now. But he is one of the top and one of the greatest and one of the most controversial, but also one of the most productive and award-winning and money-generating producers and music moguls in the music industry the last 60 years. You know, you think of Clyde Davis and people like that. Clarence Avant is that. Barry Gordy, you know, he's from that realm. Yes, he was a confidant for Quincy Jones and a lot of artists, particularly in the black music realm, and particularly in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, that it was almost mandatory. And if you were up and coming black artists like you were Michael Jackson or Man Drill, you know, or Miles Davis or whoever, you went and had an audience with Clarence Avant. You know, he's a man with a lot of music game, helped break a lot of barriers, but also, you know, broke a lot of artists in rock, you know, soul, country, all of that. And that's what made him so unique, was that it was this black man on top of the music industry as a mogul who had his hands in a lot of different genres of music and helped propel it. So anyway, Clarence Avant, and then Bob Barker. Come on down!
The Price is Right, dude.
You're the next one.
I'm surprised you lived as long as you did.
99, man.
Love it.
God bless him. Yes,
Like Betty
99.
White was 100.
Yeah. So Bob Barker, this is Generation X. We are powered by Generation X. And, you know, a lot of your mothers, grandmothers, and some of you that are, you know, older millennials will remember Bob Barker as the host of Price is Right, that's right. The game show, back when game shows come on, dominated midday TV along with soap operas. And
what a bunch of simpletons we were as a nation.
Tricia Johnson, come on down. And Guy McFadden, come on down. contestants on The Price is Right. And now, here is the star of The Price is Right, Bob Barker.
What's that?
Let's just give them some. I mean, look, if they were fun and cool, we liked them. But let's just keep all our people dumbed down with game shows every day. Fucking. What a price.
Now, was it People's? Was it People's?
Let's make a deal.
Was it People's Stone or was it women? Because mostly when we were growing up,
I watched
Housewives.
I liked Family Feud. I was a big. I liked the Family Feud.
Yeah, the one with Richard Dawson.
Match Game was probably one of my favorite ones.
Match Game was great. I love the music to Match Game.
Yeah, Richard Dawson.
$25,000 pyramid.
The Gong Show.
That's my favorite.
But yeah, when you think about it, though, it's like what's the potential? Of,
I love the Newlyweds.
What's the potential of the nation where everybody just wakes up every day, goes to their mundane jobs, have the kid do the standard thing that they're told they're supposed to do, and then spend all their waking hours in between watching game shows. Thank God we've at least moved a little bit from that.
Let's make a deal, though. You gotta say. Let's make a deal.
I like them all. The costumes, the chicks wearing the double costumes, and all that shit. Maid, French maids.
Yeah.
Sure, I like all that stuff.
Yeah.
This was stuff that came on later. That just shows you we weren't dumbed down. To me, it was like, we didn't watch as much TV. So, and then we looked at things that had to do with real life. So the prices of things and, being able to win a brand new car.
But you know something else that was great back then about that and the fabric of America at that time in the culture was that you could be on your couch rooting for another American.
Yeah.
Another fellow American, young or old, no matter if it was Match Game, no matter if it was $100,000 pyramid, whatever, Family Feud, the families, you root for them. Other Americans were rooting for other Americans to win.
Understood.
I
guess my expectations are a little higher when I'm rooting for you.
You were young and high and didn't give a fuck is what it was.
That
was a unifying thing. You get a story, you see that black guy win, you see that Mexican guy win that, you see that white couple win the, people were kind of united, just like we feel good about somebody winning the lottery.
Right, but you don't get to see that too much on TV.
Well, I think we built to that one pretty good.
The game show.
No, your Stone's gotta go. Let's get him out of here. No, he's rushing because he's gotta go. Hey, here's the deals that are being made.
I got things to do.
Okay.
And Sinead O'Connor died.
Yeah, Sinead O'Connor passed. Nothing Compares to You. Great song that was, of course,
written by Prince. She made lots of.
I liked when she ripped the Pope picture in half on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who she was at the time. I had no idea, never heard of her at that point. And then saw this chick go through this whole rant and then rip the picture of the Pope on national television like that and then make national news the next day. I loved it.
Okay.
I guess she might get you Pope, but I like the message.
Yeah. Like we had the thing, and that's why.
And of course, she was grieving for her son who killed himself a couple years ago.
And that might have been because
tough life. But a great artist. God bless her. She had her moment, man. We'll get out of here on these two. History made last week in Fulton County, Georgia. No matter which side of the fence you are in politics or in life in general, Orange 45, the ex-president, was the first ever in history, since he loves first and ever and biggest and all that. He was the first ever, and biggest president to get arrested, booked, photographed, fingerprinted, mugshotted for crimes related to whatever they were trying to do January 6th and before that was the election and all of that. Anyway, and
I got a better idea. Lock them all up.
I wish you there, pal. But then you gotta get new people to replace
I
it.
want all new people,
And
newer,
people.
younger, more intelligent minds. I want the best of what we have to offer as a society to be our leaders that I can fully get behind. Otherwise, liars, thieves, murderers, assholes.
And this is it. This is it right here. Happy birthday, 65th birthday to Michael Joe Jackson, who 15 years ago escaped from the bullshit from the system that kept fucking with him. And like you said on the screen, stop fucking with me. And so he wouldn't stop fucking with him, so he left. Okay, and we wish you a happy birthday. At least I do, Michael Jackson. Wish you all the best. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. And yeah, they're trying to continue the system to let Safe Chuck and Wade Ropes and sue you. You weren't looking up nobody's ass and all that shit, little boy studios. But whatever, that's why you left. So God bless you, man. It was the right move. Just like Stone said and started the show off with, it was a great move for us to move to Las Vegas. We're flourishing. Life is great. Stone's got shit to do. But we love you, Mike. The kids are out there. Maybe they just you down. Blanket,
yeah. Like freaking tall now. Looking like a dude.
Yeah. So, anyway, we're out of here. Great to be back with you. Show 42. Like, share, subscribe. And send me your comments. What you think of Raiders are going to do today. This season, you know.
Raiderhed,
Raiders.
Yeah.
At RaiderFan Radio.
Never again will I bear, stoner dude.
We'll see you later, Raider.
The views and opinions of RaiderFanadio.Vegas, RaiderFanradio.com, and RaiderFan Radio Media are not the views and opinions of the Las Vegas Raiders, Al Davis Football Inc., or the National Football League. RaiderFanradio.Vegas is an independent media source.